The appearance of four very bright rings around the sun in Canada, scientists cannot explain. I used to live in Canada, in Montreal. Many a time, of course, during the sun, when the sun was up, we were in school or something. But at night, we would sometimes see the moon, and the moon would have rings around it. And it was explained to us that that's because of the humidity in the air caused the light from the reflected sunlight from the moon coming through the atmosphere. The humidity in the atmosphere would cause the rings around the moon. But what about the rings around the sun? Currently, science is considered as some type of a religion. What cannot be explained does not exist. But thanks to the internet, we have photos and videos of strange phenomena that are inexplicable. And when these viral publications appear, that's when scientists come up offering explanations that sometimes are a little more absurd. But much of society believes in these explanations without thinking at a time otherwise, as it says, the very scientific community. But the reality is that while we constantly learn about how our world works, we find phenomena that are beyond our comprehension, from the strange gelatin that falls from the sky to the inexplicable sound heard around remote parts of the world. The trumpet sounds and things like that are just some of the anomalies that continue without explanation. And this has been the case of an image published last month or recently on Twitter showing how strange rings very bright around the sun appear. And this strange phenomenon was captured in Canada. The inhabitants of Manitoulin Island in Canada enjoying a stunning sunset, but a Canadian woman named Christine McNaughton saw something out of the ordinary and decided to take some photographs. In the images, you can see the sun surrounded by four reddish rings while illuminating the sky of the whole area. And since it was something she'd never seen before, she decided to post the snapshots on her Twitter account so that someone could offer an explanation. Saying, guys, take a look at the sunset, writes McNaughton in the description that accompanies the images. And while McNaughton did not expect that this image will be rival on social networks, much less than both ufologists and conspiracy theorists will offer their own theories and explanations, the popular independent investigator Scott C. Waring explained that the strange phenomenon could have been possibly due to several factors, mainly the extraterrestrial that caused an energy source in the lake, and Waring added that it could be a gigantic UFO hidden underwater during sunset. And he also ruled out the possibility of the aurora borealis, as it's not a common phenomenon in the area. It was based on the fact that although Manitoulin Island is located north in Ontario, the sun does not rise in the north, remembering that the Great Lakes are located to the west of the islands. Remember, the sun sets in the west, not in the north, so it discarded the northern lights, Waring explained. Also, since the Great Lakes are to the west, I would say that this was caused by an excessive abundance of energy on the lake in that area. It's known that atomic bombs have been lost in those lakes, but if this has not been seen in other areas, then it could not be an atomic bomb of the Second World War. It could float like a huge UFO coming out of the bottom of the big lake, and this UFO would have to be driven by an enormous amount of energy and would be forced to remain motionless there until after sunset, when it's safe to fly under the mantle of darkness. It sounds defiant as evidence of an underwater alien base in that direction at the bottom of the lake, he said. Another explanation is that it's an advanced evidence of Planet X, also known as Nibiru, that it's heading towards our Earth. And according to experts in the field, Planet X, which is 10 times larger than our Earth, orbits the sun every 3,600 years. Then right now, it would be close to our planet, being visible from some places. On this occasion, the scientists have been baffled by the strange phenomena. And although they have not found a logical and rational explanation, they have suggested that the rings are probably sun halos, which are created by the cirrus clouds, according to the scientific web portal EarthSky. These clouds contain millions of tiny ice crystals. The halos that are seen are caused both by refraction as by the division of light, and also by the refraction or flashes of light from these ice crystals. The crystals have to be oriented and positioned exactly with respect to the eye so that the halo appears. And that is why, like the rainbow, the halos around the sun or the moon are personal. Everyone sees their own particular halo, formed by their own particular ice crystals, which are different from the ice crystals make up the halo of the person next to them. Because the moonlight is not very bright, the lunar halos are mostly colorless, but it may look more red on the inside and more blue on the outside of the halo. And these colors are more considerable in halos around the sun. And this explanation would be valid unless the image of Christine McNaughton is nothing special. She captured what was happening at that moment for whatever it was, and she was very present at that moment. So what do you think this is? I basically think it's the humidity, the ice crystals in the atmosphere. This is on Infinity Explorers by Anne Shrivastava. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.